Let's talk non-physical, non-physical. Let's talk non-physical. Let's talk non-physical. Let us have some spirit talk. Some spirit talk. Let us have some spirit talk.
Yeah. Oh, so I mean, I'm gonna bring a Bible verse that's like, to me, it's more like it might be a clue to something. You know, when Jesus said, "No one can enter the kingdom of God unless they're like a child," and I feel like what he means by that, it's like you have to be in that frequency, that light, airy type of mood to access whatever's in that channel, right? In that area.
Well, there is something related to that Tom Campbell says, that don't be analytical when you're practicing, when you're trying to access the non-physical. Don't question things. So try to relax as much as possible.
Yeah.
So in my case, I would say also try to be like one with the experience. Try to be a non-dual for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, when you see the forest, it's like feel like you are the forest.
Feel the elements, right?
Yeah. Instead of question, why do I see a tree on the right? I am there. I'm the tree too. I see some trees right now. So anything else you want to talk about, Chris?
I mean, not really. Like, I guess I want to ask, like, because you already know my goal, because my goal is to like be able to master, well, not master, get close to mastering being able to see and project and see the other side and commune with the spirits, where it'll enhance my life, right? Like I can get answers to things. I can even maybe get blueprints to technology that is not known to regular people, only like people who actually talk to these beings, right? Of higher intelligence. Like that's what I want to get to at the moment. But I mean, I guess I want to ask like you, Michael and Claudio, like what's your goal with this? Is it more just for like self-discovery, or is it also something in the lines of what I said, where it's like, oh, you want to know more, get more knowledge and wisdom?
That's a good question. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, so I'm motivated by two things. One is I want to be able to get blueprints for devices to do electronic communications with spirits. The other one is I want to cure my son. My son suffers from autism, OCD, ADHD, and I would love to be able to learn how to visualize better the energies around his body, so that as I apply different healing techniques, I can be more specific, more careful, and try to help him. And as a side effect, I'd love to be able to do psychic readings of people or psychic healing. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Right. Okay.
Thoughts can modify reality.
Yeah.
Like if you want, like that's healing, for example. If you meditate with about somebody getting healed, for example, you try to visualize. Let's say they have a problem in the liver. So you try to visualize the liver and see some color, and then you try to change the color of the liver and try to heal that person.
Yeah.
So,
and I 100% believe that there are techniques out there where you visualize a golden light. Either you put it on yourself wherever it's hurt, like injured, or on a person, and you literally imagine that. And there are cases where not like big cuts or anything like that, but like anything that's internal, like they got better, right? So it's it's like a clue to the next thing.
And you can also try to do it on yourself. You can imagine, for example, that from your hands you send light towards whatever part of your body has pain, and you send light to that area and try to.
Well, like I said, I'm a newbie, right? I feel like if you want to get to that point of power, you have to be connected. We're all, like, in my opinion, we're all antennas, right? So we have to be connected to that high-pitched frequency to be able to draw that down into our body, to be able to heal or do all these crazy things, right? But I
Well,
feel like
there is not one specific way of getting there. It's just that because healers use different techniques. Some healers think use a lights or the imaging lights, and the effectiveness also varies among them. Some are
Yeah.
better than others. And also the quantity can be important. I mean, 4 people trying to heal one person might be better than 1 or
Yeah.
2. Well, the thing is that when you watch stuff on YouTube, hear from NDEs and all that, the typical reason is that we are here to get better. We're here to have experiences to try to get better.
Yeah.
So that's why I mean, some people like to live a comfortable life, but probably the ones that learn the most are the ones that have the biggest struggles.
Yeah. I've had a lot of struggles in my life.
So maybe that's a good thing.
It's painful, man. It hurts my mental and physical body.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what's your take on it? Like, do you, Michael and Claudio, like, do you think that there is some sort of archon out there? There's like someone pulling the strings and just making this world worse.
Have you
feel like this
seen
world-
Star Trek?
I've seen like one movie, but I don't know the whole.
Well, have you heard about the Prime Directive?
No, I don't. I didn't.
The Prime Directive is a directive that they try not to intervene in civilizations that, especially if they are less evolved than them.
Right.
Let's say that they come to a planet, and in the planet they only have guns, but nothing else. They cannot fly, so they don't want to reveal the technology that they have. They don't want to interfere. It looks for me like it's that way. They could interfere way more than they are doing. It's not like they want to. It looks like it's the other way. They want to interfere as minimum as possible.
Yeah.
The analogy that I think of when Claudia mentions this is I used to have a pull-up bar in my room, and my dad would come home and he would help me go up the pull-ups, but he would give me just the minimum amount of force so that I had to do the pull-up as much as possible myself. And that's sort of the sense that I get, is that we are literally given the absolute minimum intervention to get across the finish line.
Let me tell you something related to what you're talking. It looks like in some situations there is some manipulation, kind of like to make the movie more, to have more impact. Like I noticed that in soccer games, like the final of the World Cup, the Soccer World Cup. It was I mean, if you can think of how more dramatic that game could have been, it was extremely dramatic. It was like a piece of art of making it as much dramatic as possible. Argentina was winning 2-0 against France. Then they got 2-2. Then Argentina got 3-2. Then they got 3-3. It was so dramatic. They had to go to an extra time. Then they had to go to penalty kicks. I mean, it's like, come on.
Yeah.
Another example here, Leo Messi came to play for Inter Miami. It was the first game. They were tying 1-1. It was extra time. It was about to finish. He goes in a free kick, and he scores. Like in minute 94, that is usually 90 minutes. And then the game finishes. It was like a movie, like that thing happened. It's like they like to create situations that can make a big impact.
I know what you're saying. They like to create situations that maximize emotional output.
Yeah, you can also say maximize learning too. Because if everything is boring and everything is like the same, there's no much change, right? But then you put somebody there and, I mean, creates a situation that, I mean, sometimes it can be dramatic. I mean, well, drama is there in these games. And also, for example, what a coincidence that Coco Gauff was in a final in the French Open, but couldn't win it. So she got upset. But now she wins in her own country. And that's another thing. Usually, people win in their own country. So what factors do you have there? The main factor is that the people wish somebody to win, right? The crowd. The crowd wanted Coco Gauff to win in the final. I mean, it's American. It's in New York. So all their thoughts trying to make Coco Gauff to win, and she ends up winning. I mean, it didn't happen with somebody in the men's section, but
so during my wedding, I had just got into spiritual stuff like 2 years before, and I felt like everybody's positive energy projected towards us.
nice.
So that's a similar idea. I mean, like home games for football teams and stuff like that. It's like all the energy is like giving them that extra boost.
When I do the talking, you might see something about what I'm talking. So let's suppose I go like this and I say, I see some tigers. I see a tiger sitting down, looking to the right. The colors of the tigers, actually I'm seeing it right now. It's a Bengala tiger. It's orange, black, and white. So maybe when I'm talking, you might see a tiger too, because I'm talking about a tiger. It's kind of like if we are in the flow.
I know what you're saying. We may be able to.
And also, another thing that can happen is that you might be seeing, let's suppose you guys are seeing, I mean, Michael is seeing a car, and Chris is seeing a bicycle, let's say. And I'm talking, and I'm saying, well, now I see a car. And then maybe Michael said, what color is the car? And I say, blue. Oh my God, I was seeing a blue car. I mean, that can happen. You know what I'm saying?
No, actually, so Claudio tried this, and I tried this experiment a few weeks ago, and I was hearing a clock, and Claudio started describing the clock, and he actually correctly.
Okay, it was good to see you here to tell your stories, Chris.
Yeah.
Thank you for telling us what you've been through and your experiences. It was a good conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think we now know a lot about each other, so it's easier to
Yeah.
just experiment.